Okay, so I'm on my way to work, and I just had to do this video. So, I had a dream last night. Nothing crazy, but it started off like everybody in the world was just packing up, right? Like nobody knew where we were going, nobody knew what was going on. We just knew that we had to pack up. So, you know what I'm saying? I was with a lot of my family at the first, and we were just packing up all our stuff, like our family picture, like the things that hold memory, like, you know what I'm saying, could tell our family history, our story, and stuff like that. Things that we need, not wants, okay? So, in the end, it wasn't the military, but they had uniforms on. And they was guiding people into different places, so everybody did not go to the same place, okay? So all I know is I went inside this building, and there was a presence there, right? Now, you know, to me, I felt like it was God, because you couldn't see him with your eyes, right? You could hear his soft voice. And every now and then you'll see like inspirations of them or something like that, right? And I started looking around because I was like, you know, why are we here? Like, what's going on? Like, is the world about to flood? Because when I looked around, it looked like we was in the ark. Okay, we was in the ark, and it was, oh my God, it was so huge. It was so many people inside of it, right? But then I realized there was like door openings and stuff like that. It didn't have a door, but you know, it was a door you could walk in and out. And it was like they were just placing people in different parts. And you know, I ended up seeing the inspiration in him. And like I said, you can't really see him, but you can see him. And everybody did not have this gift, okay? Only a few saw it. I was one of them. A lot of it was, I realized that because of how people was acting, like, because I'm like, why is everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people just look past them, walk through them, or all that type of stuff, but I saw him, you know what I'm saying? But I can't tell you what he looked like, okay? It was like, it was a spirit. I can't tell you if he was white. I can't tell you if he was black. I can't tell you if he was Hispanic. None of that. I can't tell you none of that. All I know, he was, and in the midst of me having a conversation, like, so is a flood coming? Because this is the ark. He was like, yes, this is the ark. And he was like, not necessarily a flood. He was like, but new beginnings is about to happen. A different cycle. This world is ending. Okay? It was end of times. So I was like, okay. And so I was like, so is it like another flood? Because we're in a, you know, from my understanding, it's a boat. He was like, no, it's not a flood. I'm like, well, is it happening right now? He was like, no, it's going to be our time, at least 36 to 48 hours. Okay? Before whatever about to happen happens. And he started showing me visions. Because like I said, this was like a spirit form, meaning other people couldn't see it, okay? Unless you was one of the ones he chose to allow to see him. And so he showed me a vision of the world, right? Splitting in two. Like, not like in half, not in half, double, okay? So you had the old world, and then you had the new world, and you could see the new world pulling away from the old world, okay? And he was like, the old world is hell. It's gonna be hell, okay? And he was like, the new world is where the people that, you know what I'm saying, the righteous ones, that's where they were gonna be to start all over, right? And the ones that don't get put on the ark, I want to say ship, I don't know what that meant, but it was like they will suffer. And he literally showed me the earth, like some type of gravity pull, and the new world as a whole world round coming from the old world. No fire, nothing like that was showing. It was just the old world. But basically, he was like, it's going to be nothing but chaos on this old world. Nothing but chaos. Everybody that will be left behind will deal with chaos. They will deal with hell, like mentally and emotionally hell, okay? And on the new world, you will have peace. Okay? You will have peace. And I was like, okay. I was like, but as I started looking around the ark, I realized that I didn't see a lot of church going people, okay? That's what threw me off. I was like, I won't judge a book by its cover because I'm not that type of person. But it were people that you least expect to be left behind, okay? I mean, I was out here with people that if you know what I'm saying, if I were judgmental, I would be like, they don't belong. Like, they don't belong. You get what I'm saying? So I was questioning, not really questioning him, but I was like, well, what is it that keeps them from coming, and what has them left behind? He was like, accountability. Accountability. He was like, yes. So basically, he broke down to me that a lot of the ones that people expect to be coming into the new world, he was like, they wouldn't take accountability. You had some that wouldn't take accountability, and you had some that were just too prideful to the point where they wanted to act as if they did no wrong, like they was just perfect. And mind you, nobody's perfect, right? And he was like, the ones that made it to basically the promised land, the promised world, whichever one you want to call it, from the dream, he was like, they took accountability. They knew God for themselves. Like, they actually had a relationship with him, even though it didn't look like it on the outside. Because I'm not gonna hold y'all, I was like, well, God, why am I here? Why am I not left? Why am I not left behind? And he was like, because you were one of the ones that took accountability. I was like, well, you know what I'm saying? Because if you know me, you know what I'm saying, I'm a single mom, divorced, 5 kids, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just, based on society and stuff like that, which I don't understand, because in the dream, it was like I allowed society to make me feel like I wasn't good enough to be in the presence of him, okay? In the dream. Because in my reality, I know who God is. Me and him have a personal relationship. I talk to him every day. I talk to him when I'm, driving, at work. It don't matter where I'm at. It's never a good or bad moment where I can or cannot not talk to him. So, in the dream, I was just like, well, I'm not perfect, God. Like, he was like, but you take accountability, right? And then he showed me ministering to other people. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, well, okay, I do videos and stuff like that, but, I didn't consider that ministering, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, but the simple fact that you can take your flaws, you can learn from them, take accountability, and see other people and help other people with their issues or what they may feel flawed. And he was like, you also brought people to me. You made them understand that regardless of how their past was or how people made them feel like they wasn't good enough to, make it into heaven and stuff like that. And you didn't want to put fear in people. And he's like, that's what he's not about. So he was like, that's why you are here. I'm like, okay. And he was like, there was like this one man. And when I say this is the man that I was like, he looked like he a whole drug addict, alcoholic and everything, right? And he just, I don't know if he was talking about this man, but it was like when he spoke on a certain situation, this man was just there, like nobody else was visible at this point. It was like just this man. And he was just speaking on how, even though on the outskirts and how people view him and what his life looked like and what he was involved in, this man saved a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Not in the ways where society expect you to save people, but because of his words, because of how he spoke to people. Like, even though he sold drugs or did drugs or anything like that, he made it very known that he had a personal relationship with God. Like, he wasn't perfect, and he admitted to that, and he took accountability to that. But the fact that he was able to put his pride to the side, once again, take accountability for the things that he had done. He asked for forgiveness. He forgave himself and continued to build his relationship with God. And that's what saved him. And he was like, the fact that he was like, a lot of the church goers, they think joining a church or staying in church, going to church every time the doors are open, is what gonna bring you closer to God. And it's not even about a church. It's not about a building. It's not about none of that. When he's saying church, he's talking about the body. Your physical body. What's on the inside of your physical body? Your soul, your spirit. What do that look like? How does it feel? When you go around other people, how do you make them feel? When you go around other people, do they feel like they gotta cover up? Do they feel like they gotta act a certain type of way to be accepted by you? Right? So, all I know is, he said 36 to 48 hours the world gonna split. And not physically. Not a physical split. If you're spiritual and you're one of the chosen ones, you're going to feel the shift. You're going to feel the shift. Okay? But it's not going to be like a physical split. It's going to be where it's not even going to be a good versus bad. It's going to be like a separation. Okay? Good with the good, bad with the bad. You're going to know who is who. You're going to know who is who. Everything is about to be revealed. Anything demonic is going to show. Nothing is in hiding. When this 36 to 48 hours is up, and I don't know what 36 to 48 hours biblically is. I know in our time, I know what it is. But biblically and spiritual time, because spiritual time and physical time is two different things. Okay? That's why you can sleep for like a couple of minutes, and when you wake up, feel like you've been sleeping for hours. So I don't necessarily know how long that could be. But I know he said 36 to 48 hours. The shift is going to happen. He already know who going. He already know who ain't. And it's going to be the ones you least expect. So, I mean, with that being said, the message that I'm trying to leave is learn how to take accountability. God does not care about your past. He already knows your present. He knows your future. The best thing for a lot of us to do is to put our pride aside. Stop worrying about what people say. Stop worrying about what people think. Okay? They are not God. I don't care how bad people judge you and say things about you, regardless if it's good or bad. You need to make sure that your relationship with God is happening. Okay? You need to make sure you're working on that. Taking accountability. You don't have to discuss what you have to take accountability for. That's between you and God. Nobody else. Okay? Nobody else. I don't care if they try to make you feel that way. If they're trying to make you feel like you gotta sit here, stand in front of a bunch of people, a bunch of church, and throw your flaws out there for everybody to look and see and judge you, then it's not of God. That is not of God. God is not going to tell somebody to confess your sins in front of the middle of a building, a tent, whatever the case may be. Now, if you choose to without being told, then okay, that's a different story. But when you're being told you have to do this to confess your sins to God, you don't have to do that. All you have to do is work on your relationship with Him. You take accountability with Him. You ask for forgiveness. Learn how to forgive yourself. Learn how to forgive yourself. Because that's where a lot of people mess up as well. And what's going to hinder a lot of people from getting to the promised land. Because they don't want to take accountability. And they're too prideful. Okay? Too prideful. Self-explanatory, man. But y'all, it felt so peaceful. And the thing is, I don't think it was an actual boat. I know what it looked like on the inside. Like, it was pure. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Like, you could actually see the wood from the inside. You could tell it was like a old ship. You could tell it was an old ship. Okay? I don't know what type of ship, but it was an old ship. And the wood was like real old, but it was as if it was preserved. It was anointed. It was preserved. Like, with all this stuff going on, and then when I wake up and I look at my phone, trying to make sure I ain't overslept for work, because the dream it felt very long, but it really was. It was probably like 25, 30 minutes. Probably not even that long. Probably 10 or 15. I don't know. But it's just, man, it's not hard to do. And yeah, man, work on y'all relationship with God, and don't worry about what people think, what people say. At the end of the day, don't let nobody put in your head that your feelings are not valid. Cause God validates everybody's feelings. Okay, you can have a conversation with Him. That does not mean you're questioning Him, because you're supposed to seek to understand. He does not have an issue helping you understand. He will show you in multiple ways for you to understand, and you will know. And a lot of people is not going to understand that. Okay? A lot of people is not going to understand that. Because when I started my spiritual journey, I was shown in a lot of ways, multiple ways, from dreams to just riding on the road and seeing signs, going on social media and somebody is speaking right on the topic, right? It could be anything, really. I've had dreams where I was told to read certain scriptures, and my answer would be right there. So He can come to you in multiple ways, and sometimes people, a lot of times, not sometimes, but a lot of times, when you get around certain type of people that I've been riding around with my back door open, y'all. It's not closed good. My son ain't closed my door good. But yeah, like, you will know. You will know. It's never too late. It's never too late. It's never too late. Now, I don't know necessarily how hell on earth is going to be. I don't care. I just pray that I'm right. I pray that my soul is right. I pray that my spirit is right. My mindset, all that type of stuff is right when that time comes. I don't want to know. But I didn't see hell like fire blazing or nothing like that. I just saw it looked identical to the New World. But it was like a little dark. Like, it didn't have no light. Like, the sun shined on it, but like the energy of the world was dark. It was dark. Okay. Oh, look, a red bird. I've been seeing red birds every day. Every time I get in my car. And I'm just, I don't know what else to say, guys. It was beautiful, like the vision that he seen me. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. I don't even know how to explain the way he looked, because I couldn't tell exactly how he looked, but oh my God, it was beautiful. Like, he just flowed around. Like, he didn't walk around, he flowed around. That's how you know it was a spirit. It was the Holy Spirit. Okay, I want to say he had on white, but I know that's just how the spirit looked. That's the way he showed himself to me. I didn't see a face, I didn't see hair, I didn't see skin color. I just saw like a white inspiration or whatever, It was beautiful. The inside of it was beautiful. It was so spacious. Oh my God, the ceilings was high. It was real high. And then it was like right at the top. It had like a little window, right, where you could actually see nothing but sky. It was pretty. It was real pretty. It was peaceful. It was very peaceful. And it wasn't like a man, woman, woman, man, one male, one female type thing. It wasn't nothing like that. If you were right, you were right. And that's how you got on. And it had nothing to do with, I ain't see no animals. But, yeah, man, I don't know what's going on. I kind of do, but I don't. I know with all this talk and stuff like that, dealing with Trump, whatever it is that they're trying to stop spiritually, it's not going to happen. It's not, you can't stop God. You really can't. I really think they're trying to put fear into people. And they feel like they're stopping something from happening. If God see fit for it to happen, it's going to happen. One way or another. Somebody going to die. I ain't going to say who. Somebody going to die before their time even up. Yeah, it ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work, but I'm at work. I'm a little tired. I'm a little restless, but this is your girl Indigo Queen, back with your spiritual dream. Y'all be blessed, man. Y'all really be blessed. Be blessed. God has not forgot about y'all. God has not forgot about us. Things, I know with everything going on now, it's so much chaos now. That's the crazy part about it. It's so much chaos now. People dying left or right. Kids being murdered. All this crazy. It's crazy, y'all. And it's like, God, we already in chaos. So whenever this spiritual split happened, I could only imagine what type of chaos now going on. But he was like, a lot of things about to be revealed. From the witchcraft in churches, in homes, in families, school, the government. And with the government, I'm getting the government, not the government, okay? Like, that's how the downloads and messages is coming, but it's not the government that you think, okay? The government is being ran by the government, if that makes sense. Like, you got to really think about everything that's going on right now and how everything is being transpired and being moved around. Like, you really, really got to take heed. And the main people with the power and control are the ones we least expect to have it, okay? Trump has no power. He's a puppet, okay? That man ain't got no soul. He ain't got no soul, okay? He's being used. I don't want to talk about him. So, like, even with the P. Diddy situation, he's just an example of what's going to happen. I know a lot of people are hearing the stories about how he got prayed over and all that type of stuff, and how he tried to change his life around at the last minute. Once you sell your soul to the devil, you're going to always owe him. Because he don't take your soul right then and there. But if you allow him to keep using it and using you and using you, the dimmer your light going to be. So the thing with P. Diddy, the reason why he's going through this right now spiritually is because his time is up. And I'm not saying, oh, he's going to die or whatever like that. But what I'm saying is the devil has no more use for him. Okay? But the thing is, once you worship him and once you give yourself completely to him, which is through money, greed, every type of sin you could think of, to the point where God is nowhere to be found around you, that's it. When you're too deep in hell, the only thing you're going to have to do or can do is call out for God. Okay? The thing is, what a lot of people is, God has not left P. Diddy's side. And I know a lot of people are like, well, what? God ain't left his side. But he has to endure everything he done on earth. Okay? He has to endure it. He has to go through it. Okay? The thing is he going to take accountability? Is he going to forgive himself? Okay? It's a, what the fuck? Excuse my language. Let me, what time is it?